Welcome back to Live to Fish. And the weather here has been getting pretty nice. We've hit some 50s, even some 70s. So we're going to hit the lake this morning with my buddy Chris and take a look. Come on along. Right now it's about 35 degrees. Waters are calm. It's looking good. Let's give it a shot. So like I said, there's been some warmer temperatures lately. You can see how it kind of got up to a little bit over 70 yesterday. So keeping our fingers crossed that that keeps going, gets that shallower water warm and brings those fish in for the pre-spawn. Okay, I'm going to start off today with the Bass Pro qualifier. I'm going to take the old square bill out for a spin and see what happens. Now, part of what I do for maintenance on the rods, or I should say maintenance on the reels during the off season, is to loosen up all the drags all the way, take the tension knobs, bring all the tension off those, crank these brakes down so that they're fully open, and make sure there's no stress on the internal components. So let's get this dialed back in so there's some braking to it. Get that tension knob reset. All right, let's get it dialed in. Working on distance here. The goal is obviously to make sure it doesn't backlash. Loosen up the braking system a little bit, loosen up the tension knob. Get some more distance. Ooh, what do we got? First catch of the day. First catch of the season, for that matter. Look at that. Success. The old canfish. It's not a relative to the panfish, but wonderful. That's going to be good for the line. All right, getting some pretty good distance, no backlash. Everything's looking good on the reel. Might crank it down a little bit lighter on the braking system. Bring that back just a little bit on the tension knob. Still doing good, no backlashing. Now, there's a little bit of ice in the canal still where you get a little shallower. That's okay. Water's kind of a murky mud right now. Let's loosen that up a little bit more. I think we're just about dialed in. Gonna pause a little bit and retrieve, getting a lot of those pencil reeds. It's dredging the bottom. A little vegetation. Well, that's good. We're getting deep enough here. Now this is a maximum of 5 feet. It's rated for 3 to 5 feet on this crankbait, so it's pretty shallow here. Let's loosen that up a little bit more. Getting pretty decent cast length. Yeah, I'm hitting bottom quick. So this here, the Bass Pro Qualifier 2, it is, let me get the speed on this for you here, 7 bearing system, and it is a 7.5 to 1 ratio, so relatively fast. It's a medium action rod, fast, 7 foot in length. For crankbaits, spinnerbaits, things that have treble hooks, I generally use the medium rods because I like the rod to do the action when setting the hook, so it kind of loads up and lets the fish get hooked really, really well, versus a heavy action rod where you're setting the hook when using jigs, when using Texas rig, that sort of thing. All right, so this looks like it's dialed in pretty good. It is pretty shallow here. Let me get the jig. Let me get dialed in. Work on that next. Morning. How you been, man?
Did they build this up?
Yeah, they put the concrete in there to stop that erosion from coming in.
So I thought it was like all the way up to the bank last time.
Yeah, it was. Yep, so hopefully that stops it. I talked to the city, they're going to be starting to put a bunch of fill dirt in here and kind of bring it back out a little bit, so that'd be good.
Absolutely.
Caught a canfish.
Did you really?
Not a panfish, but a canfish.
Catfish the first time. Really?
So I'm just getting dialed in. I got my square bill dialed in. I'm working on the jig now. Okay, let's get this jig set up. We're going to be using the Big Bite baits. It's a 4-inch fighting frog. Gonna tear off just the front end of this. That way it gives it a little bit more of a muted profile. It doesn't hang so far off the jig, and it also allows it for a flat end to keep on this, to get hooked on this keeper here on the jig itself. So let's give this a shot. Make sure I get all the skirt out of there. Make sure that underside where the hook's going through, and just feed it up through the middle. These are a little different, but and there we go, just like that. It's still a little farther than what I'd like, but that's not a bad presentation there. And this one's a rattling swim jig, so it's going to give it a little bit of action, a little bit of vibration and noise as it's going through the water. So let's take a look and see how that works out for us. Get it dialed in. Okay, for this I'm using the new Mach SMASH that I picked up when I featured one of my videos. I'll have the link down below for you if you missed that one. Let's get this dialed in. What I'm doing is I'm cranking down the tension knob until the bait falls ever so slightly, not too fast. And then I also take the braking system, I put it on full max, and then maybe dial it down just a couple clicks. Give it a quick cast. Now we didn't get too much distance on that, so I'm going to bring that back in. Going to loosen the knob up just a little bit on the tension. Going to reduce that braking system to give it a little bit more distance. And then a little bit farther. No backlash. I'm also keeping my thumb on it, feathering it just a little bit. Got a couple bumps, that's all, on the bottom there. And dial it down just a little bit more. Gonna set it at about a 7 on the braking system. Gonna reduce that tension knob just a little bit more. Let it fall just a little bit faster. Maybe add a couple more feet on that one. Let's go down to a 6. Dial that down just a little bit more too. Yep. Definitely shallow here. All right, let's bring that in. Let's give it a cast at the new settings. Might as well bring it down a little bit more. Still not getting backlashes, and that time I did not feather it. Let's get that tension knob loosened up a little bit more. Just bring it in on a quick retrieve here. This Mach SMASH by Lews, this thing runs $129 for the combo. It's an 8 bearing system, 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. It's a medium heavy rod, but you can find 20% off sales now and then, $20 off maybe here or there. So you can get it for closer to a price point of $100. Very good stuff, especially if you're familiar with Lews. I'm a big fan of their products. I think they're very durable. I think they're good quality. So it's not my first Lews, and it won't be my last, that's for sure. But today I have a couple packages coming in the mail, so we'll be doing another unboxing for this weekend, and it's going to be a reel combo, rod and reel combo, that I'm excited about because I have not had this brand yet. But I also have another Piscifun reel coming that I'm going to pair up with that Halo rod that I scored for 60 bucks at Walmart. That's that $160 rod that was on sale at Walmart for 60 bucks. So at Walmart's with my wife Karen, she's getting stuff for her gardening, and I'm getting a new rod. This is a $160 rod, clearance for 60 bucks. We're gonna pair that up and see how that looks, and that'll be coming this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Looks like we're dialing pretty good, getting some pretty good distance, and again, no backlashes. I can show you here. I'll cast this out. I'm gonna loosen up the tension knob just a little bit more. Maybe go one more click. So you got some backlash on that, but it corrected itself. So we're just about there. I'm gonna loosen that, or tighten that up rather, a little bit more. Tension knob up a little bit, and we should be right where we need to be for this one. And that's all there is to it. Okay, got a little bit of a backlash here, and what I want to show you is how to correct that when that happens. Now, that's not a severe one, but one of the things you're going to notice is that line gets underneath and wrapped over your main line here, and it becomes an issue with trying to unspool this. It'll like lock up on you. One trick that you can do to try to ensure that you get your backlashes undone is, once it does lock up like that, gets caught underneath there, go ahead and close your bail, put your thumb over your line, add a little bit of pressure, and start turning in, and it pushes all that line out of the way. Open your bail back up, close it, give it a little tug, open it back up, and then just start pulling out. And now it should have kind of, I guess is the best way I can describe it. And just take it slow, don't go too fast, because then that spool will wind up faster than what you're pulling, and you'll get another backlash, probably worse than the first one. But you can see I continue to keep going. I kind of feather it, and I keep going until there's no more slack line on that spool. And then once that's done, which is right about there, I put a little pressure on the line there, close that, and just kind of bring it back in with some tension. And that's how you clear a backlash on a bait caster. Okay, I'm going to get this one dialed in now too. This is the Piscifun Spark. This is the BFS bait finesse system bait caster. It's designed with a lower profile and also a smaller, or I should say lower profile spooling set as well, which doesn't take as much line. And what these are designed to do, this one here is a gear ratio of 8.1 to 1. These are designed to imitate a spin cast reel. So in other words, like right here, this dark sleeper, some of these smaller baits, got my golden hair on there, Hank hair, maybe that'll help me catch some fish. But these smaller baits is something that normally you don't throw with a bait caster. You'd throw a spin cast rod, or not spin, well, you could use a spin cast, but a spinning rod, generally because the lighter baits would cause backlashes, or they just don't cast as well with a bait caster as they do with a spinning reel and rod. So this is paired up with a medium heavy Mach SMASH rod, but again, it's a Piscifun Spark. I think this thing ran probably 35-40 bucks. Relatively inexpensive, and again, I was throwing the Ned rig on this last year and had some good luck with it. But we're going to get it dialed in here with this dark sleeper. We'll see what happens. Again, the tension knobs are all right. There we go. Let it drop. Let's tighten that up. A little cast. A little plunk real close. Let's loosen that up. Take the tension off a little bit. Now I've got a pretty good cast. And again, no backlash. That's a very light lure. I think that's maybe a 1/4 ounce. I'll have to take a look at it. Alright, let's reel that in. More open. It's a better cast. Still no backlash on it. Okay, get it almost to that seawall over there. My goal is to hit that, and it'll be right where I want it. For this location anyway. Throw it a lot farther. That was close. Oh! Ah, I had something. Got a little bite over here. Unless that was just the ice. Could have been. Okay, that was a good cast. Right along that seawall there, so it's right where I want it. Okay, so that's about it for dialing in this one, and get home here pretty soon, take a look and see if we got some packages in the mail. Alright, so we got everything dialed in, so we're good to go there. And then this is that Piscifun bag I just wanted to go over with you real quick. A small little sling pack. And the cool thing about this is it's amazing how much this little sling pack is actually holding. Let's take a look inside. And this isn't even what I would normally carry. This is just to get some stuff dialed in. Inside, you see here I got some creature baits, got some more swim baits, got some extra Ned stuff, some grubs. Got my tools in here. In order to keep my sunglasses in this top container right here. Right now it's where my gloves are at. And the main section of this pack is holding one box, some crankbaits, I got some meps in there, I got some jerk baits, and also my Ned rig setup. So it's got all my Ned rig stuff, my minnow Z's, my TRDs, those little turds, and this thing holds quite a bit, so you can get quite a bit of equipment with you if you're just going on a little trip. I have a larger backpack that I like to carry all my stuff in, which isn't too cumbersome to carry, but this thing for small little outings like this, getting stuff dialed in is absolutely perfect. So again, this is the sling pack for Piscifun. I think you can pick these up. It's on their website or on Amazon for right around 30 bucks or so. But definitely recommend those. And that's about it. So thanks for hanging out with Chris and I today. Didn't catch anything, but again, we had some fun, dialed in some stuff, and look what we got here on the porch waiting for us. Let's see what we got. See you in a bit. Okay, that's it for now. Be sure to like and please do me a favor. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you have, thank you and welcome back. So for now, goodbye. And next coming up will be the unboxing of the new rod and reel combo and also some other goodies. Stay tuned. Thanks for coming by to Live to Fish.